Did you use your donor money for that purpose?
We used donor money
So yes or no?
to pay confidential informants to infiltrate extremist organizations.
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center establish shell companies to pay, to run the money through, to then pay the field sources? You said now, I think the Southern Poverty Law Center said you're no longer going to use these field sources. You're going to stop the program. But you did it for multiple years, and according to the indictment, it was $4 million that you shelled out to these various field sources to engage in all the activities I just read.
As we
When
said,
we start these investigations, when we start this oversight, it's always worse than we thought. We now have the superseding indictment from the Justice Department. It wasn't $3 million that they were paying these field sources. It was actually $4 million the Southern Poverty Law Center paid to field sources, and they didn't just pay them to foment the hate they told their donors they were fighting. They actually dated them. Fair, did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor money to have field sources attend extremist rallies across the country?
Mr. Chairman,
It's a simple question. Did you use your donor money for that purpose?
we used donor money
So yes or
to
no?
pay confidential informants to infiltrate extremist organizations.
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor dollars to have field sources host extremist rallies throughout the country?
Not to my knowledge.
That's not what the indictment says. Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor dollars to have field sources grow existing chapters of extremist groups?
Mr. Chairman, as I
It's
said
a simple
earlier,
question, Mr. Fair. Did you use donor money for the purpose I just read? I'm reading straight from the superseding indictment.
and Mr. Chairman, the indictment will be managed and responded to by counsel in the criminal case that's
Well, you just
pending.
answered a question from Mr. Raskin concerning the indictment. He asked you, did field sources send information to the FBI that help with things? You answered that question.
That's a matter of public knowledge.
That's in our
Mr.
public filing.
Did the Southern Poverty
Chairman.
Law Center use donor money to have field sources create new chapters of extremist groups?
Again, Mr. Chairman,
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor money to recruit new individuals into those extremist groups?
I assume you don't want me to answer since you're not giving me time to answer.
No, I'm giving you time to answer because that's a yes or. Did you use your donors' money for that purpose? Yes or no?
Again, those issues will be resolved in the pending allegations against the SPLC.
It seems to me if the answer is no, you could say no.
We have asserted that the allegations are false.
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor money to have field sources make donations to extremist group leaders and purchase materials for cross burnings? It's alleged in the indictment. Did it happen?
We've alleged that those allegations are false.
Did Southern Poverty Law Center use donor dollars to have field sources create racist paraphernalia that extremist groups sold at rallies?
We've alleged that those allegations are false.
Okay, how about this? What is Fox photography?
Mr. Chairman, what I've learned about Fox photography, I've learned from counsel in conversations with counsel,
How about Northwest Technologies?
and they're covered by the attorney-client privilege.
No, these are, well, did the Southern Poverty Law Center establish shell companies to pay, to run the money through, to then pay the field sources?
Again, all of the allegations that you are referring to, Chairman Jordan, will be
Well, how about this?
responded to by our counsel in the Middle District of Alabama.
Did you pay the field sources directly, or did you pay them through an intermediary?
Mr. Chairman Jordan?
Yep.
Our counsel will respond to all the allegations in the indictment in the case pending in the Middle District.
Well, there's all these companies that you sent money to. Center Investigative Agency, not the CIA, but your CIA. Fox Photography, Northwest Technologies, Tech Writers Group, Rare Books Warehouses, Imagery Link, J&J Electronics, and Kelly's Marine. And I just want to know if that was the intermediate shell companies that you guys set up to pay the field sources. Is that true?
Will the good chairman yield for just a
No,
moment?
I got just a minute and a half, and then I'll be happy to entertain a question you may
Chairman
have.
Jordan, our counsel will respond to all the allegations in the Middle District of Alabama,
Okay.
as the process allows.
Did you do it all for the money? mean, you said now, I think the Southern Poverty Law Center said you're no longer going to use these field sources. You're going to stop the program. But you did it for multiple years. And according to the indictment, it was $4 million that you shelled out to these various field sources to engage in all the activities I just read.
Was
it all about the money?
As we said in our public statement, Chairman Jordan, we did it to protect our staff and to protect the public.
Did fundraising increase after paying people to stay in these groups who actually wanted out of them? Did your fundraising increase? Did the donations coming in increase?
Chairman Jordan, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to when you say—
How about this? After the crazy Charlottesville rally, did fundraising go up?
Mr. Chairman, our fundraising went up.
Fundraising where one of your field sources helped coordinate transportation.
Our fundraising went up when President Donald Trump was elected in 2016.
Fundraising go up after you paid a field source to coordinate the transportation at an event in Charlottesville where a person was killed. That's what I'm asking. Did it go up? Because according to what we know, you went from 51 million to 133 million in 1 year.
And that happened when President Donald Trump was elected.
Who's the president of the National Socialist Party? You know? You know who he is?
Mr. Chairman, that's an allegation in the indictment that will be responded to by counsel in the Middle District of Alabama.
It's always worse than we thought. The one thing we get wrong when we start these investigations, when we start this oversight, is it's always worse than we thought. We now have the superseding indictment from the Justice Department. It wasn't $3 million that they were paying these field sources. It was actually $4 million the Southern Poverty Law Center paid to field sources. And they didn't just pay them to foment the hate they told their donors they were fighting. They actually dated them. That's right. Southern Poverty Law Center employee was in a romantic relationship with field source number 9, a member of the Racist National Alliance. This SPLC employee, who was supposed to be dismantling hate groups with the Intelligence Project, was dating the field source that they were paying. And in fact, they had a joint bank account. Wow. And guess what the SPLC paid this individual? $1.2 million to, again, create and foment the hate they told their donors they were fighting. Now, it gets worse. An individual who led the National Socialist Party, a faction of the Aryan nations, reached out to SPLC. He wanted out. He wanted help in leaving this racist group. And what did the SPLC do? They said, no, no, no. Stay in the group. We'll pay you a monthly salary. We'll reimburse you for hosting rallies, purchasing racist materials. Of course, that was field source number 30. How about F37, field source 37? This person's the one who coordinated transportation and attended the 2017 rally in Charlottesville. The Southern Poverty Law Center paid him $300,000 to the guy who helped put together the event where a young lady was killed. F27, he was paid $350,000. What'd he do? He ran the Aryan Nations Motorcycle Club. F43, president of some crazy group, was previously convicted of cross-burning, but the SPLC thought he was worth $19,000 of their donors' money. Again, all told, $4 million to manufacture hate. We said this last hearing. I still remember Rahm Emanuel saying, I'm talking about Democrats, never let a crisis go to waste. The SPLC took it a step further. They created the crisis. They manufactured the crisis, and by so doing, they became the standard, the source for determining who is a hate group. They labeled Family Research Council a hate group. Moms for Liberty was labeled a hate group. Turning Point USA labeled a hate group. Alliance Defending Freedom, even though they argued multiple cases, won 16 cases in front of the Supreme Court, they were labeled a hate group, but never Jane's Revenge, never the group who vandalized crisis pregnancy centers, churches, in the aftermath of the Dobbs decision. They never got labeled. And the Biden Justice Department helped make them the standard. This is probably the part that bothers me, I think bothers most people the most. They help make the Southern Poverty the standard in evaluating who's a hate group, who isn't. Because they consulted with them, they had quarterly meetings, the Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco, quarterly met with SPLC. They would give SPLC any information they had, the Justice Department, the FBI had, they give it to them first. They even used them to train prosecutors. And of course, we know what it resulted in. The now famous memorandum from the FBI field office in Richmond, Virginia, where the FBI said, if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're an extremist. And of course, who did they cite for that? You guessed it, the Southern Poverty Law Center. Southern Poverty Law Center became part of the weaponized Garland-Biden Justice Department. Now, here's what's interesting. The Biden DOJ knew all about this scam that they were running. They knew the SPLC was doing this, but they didn't pursue the case. They dropped the case. Because when you meet with them, when you consult with them, when you have them train your prosecutors, you're not going to prosecute them. Nope, you're not going to do it because it's too valuable politically. And here's the scary part. And I'm sure we'll have questions from Mr. Fair later on about this. Here's the scary part. It all worked. Field Source 37, the guy at the Charlottesville rally, helped plan that rally, coordinate transportation there, was paid to attend. After the event, again, after the event where a lady was killed, the Southern Poverty Law Center almost tripled their income. $51 million to $133 million after they were coordinating the hate that took place at that crazy rally. You run a scam, you become the standard, you don't get prosecuted, and you make a ton of money. They got $800 million assets, $700 million in an endowment. Such a deal. And they would have gotten away with it, but for the oversight of Congress, and more importantly, the work of the Justice Department. So God bless the Attorney General and the work him and his team are doing.
In today's explosive congressional hearing, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan unveiled what he described as shocking new allegations involving the Southern Poverty Law Center, or SPLC. Jordan argued that newly released information raises serious questions about how donor money was spent, the organization's relationship with confidential sources, and whether extremist groups were actually being infiltrated or financially supported. Jordan opened the hearing by pointing to a superseding indictment that he said expanded the scope of previously known allegations. According to Jordan, the amount of money paid to confidential field sources was larger than originally believed. That he repeatedly questioned SPLC representatives about whether donor funds were used to place informants inside extremist organizations and whether those funds were used to support activities connected to those groups. The witnesses declined to directly answer many of the questions, citing ongoing legal proceedings. As the hearing intensified, Jordan pressed witnesses about allegations that donor money was used to recruit members, attend rallies, and maintain relationships with individuals connected to extremist organizations. The witnesses repeatedly responded that the allegations were false and would be addressed through legal counsel. Jordan argued that straightforward answers should be possible if the claims were untrue, leading to several tense exchanges that dominated the hearing. Before we continue, make sure to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications for more congressional hearings, government investigations, and breaking political developments. Jordan then highlighted allegations involving a field source who was reportedly in a romantic relationship with an SPLC employee. He also referenced claims that certain individuals connected to extremist groups received large sums of money while remaining active within those organizations. According to Jordan, some of these individuals allegedly participated in high-profile events that later generated national attention. He argued that the allegations, if proven true, would represent a major scandal involving both donor funds and public trust. The hearing later shifted toward the relationship between the SPLC and federal agencies. Jordan criticized past interactions between the organization and the Department of Justice, arguing that the SPLC became an influential source for identifying extremist groups, that he claimed the organization was consulted by government officials and played a role in shaping law enforcement approaches. Critics argued this relationship created political concerns, while supporters maintained that monitoring extremist activity remains an important public safety function. By the end of the hearing, Jim Jordan made one thing clear. He believes the allegations are far more serious than originally thought. Witnesses continued to deny wrongdoing and insisted that the accusations would be challenged in court. As investigations continue, questions surrounding donor money, confidential sources, and the relationship between advocacy groups and government agencies are likely to remain under intense scrutiny.